Hey everyone, welcome back to Stock Predictor. In today's video, we're diving deep into one of the most powerful and life-changing financial books ever written, Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. This book isn't just about money, it's about changing how you think about money. So, if you've ever dreamed of getting rich or breaking free from financial struggle, this video is going to be a game changer. Let's talk about what this book teaches, and more importantly, how you can actually apply it in your own life. Robert Kiyosaki grew up with two father figures. One was his biological dad, whom he calls his poor dad. The other was his best friend's father, whom he calls his rich dad. Both men were smart, hardworking, and successful in their own ways, but their mindsets about money were completely different. And that difference made one of them rich and the other always struggling. Poor Dad believed in the traditional system: go to school, get good grades, find a stable job, and work hard for money. He believed that having a steady paycheck was security and that education would guarantee success. But Rich Dad believed something totally different. He said, "Don't work for money, make money work for you." That single idea changed everything. Rich Dad taught Robert that the key to wealth isn't how much you earn, it's how much you keep, and how you make your money grow. And that's the foundation of this entire book. So let's break down the biggest lessons you can take away from Rich Dad Poor Dad and how they can help you become rich in 2025 and beyond. The first major lesson is, the rich don't work for money. Poor Dad worked hard his entire life, hoping for raises and promotions. But Rich Dad explained that employees who trade time for money are stuck. Why? Because there are only 24 hours in a day. If your income depends on your time, your income is limited. The rich focus on building assets that make money for them, even while they sleep. These assets could be businesses, investments, real estate, or intellectual property. The lesson here is simple: stop chasing paychecks, start building income streams. The second lesson is, financial education is everything. Rich Dad said the most important skill you can have isn't taught in school, it's understanding how money really works. Schools teach us how to work for money but not how to make money work for us. We're told to avoid risk, but the rich learn how to manage it. Robert Kiyosaki says, the lack of money isn't the problem. The lack of financial education is. That means learning about investing, assets, liabilities, cash flow, and taxes. The more you understand money, the more opportunities you see. The third lesson is, mind your own business. What does that mean? It means stop spending all your energy building someone else's dream. Most people work for companies their whole life, giving their time, ideas, and talent to make someone else rich. Rich Dad taught that you should always focus on building your own business or investments on the side, even if you have a job. Don't quit your job immediately, but use it as a stepping stone to invest, create, and grow something of your own. The fourth lesson: know the difference between an asset and a liability, and buy assets. This is one of the most famous ideas from Rich Dad Poor Dad. Robert says an asset is something that puts money in your pocket. A liability is something that takes money out. Most people confuse the two. For example, people say their house is an asset. But if you're paying a mortgage, property taxes, and maintenance every month without any income from it, it's actually a liability. True assets include things like rental properties, dividend-paying stocks, online businesses, or royalties. The rich get richer because they focus on buying more assets, while the poor stay poor because they buy liabilities thinking they're assets. The fifth lesson: the rich invent money. That doesn't mean printing cash. It means the rich use creativity and financial intelligence to see opportunities others miss. Poor Dad would say, "I can't afford it." Rich Dad would say, "How can I afford it?" That small shift changes everything. When you ask questions like that, your brain starts finding ways to create money, whether through business ideas, partnerships, or investments. The rich see problems as opportunities, while others see problems as obstacles. The sixth lesson: work to learn, not to earn. In Rich Dad Poor Dad, Kiyosaki says that early in life, you should focus on gaining skills, not just making money. Learn how to sell, how to manage people, how to invest, how to lead, and how to communicate. These skills will make you wealthy later. Don't chase the highest salary, chase experience that builds your foundation for freedom. For example, learning marketing might not pay much right now, but it can make you millions if you start your own business later. The seventh lesson: overcome fear and take risks. The biggest difference between the rich and everyone else isn't money, it's mindset. Poor Dad avoided risk because he feared losing money. Rich Dad embraced risk, learned from failure, and grew stronger. Fear keeps most people stuck in the rat race. They work hard, save money, and avoid mistakes, but inflation and taxes slowly eat their savings. Rich Dad taught that failure is part of success. Every mistake teaches you something valuable, as long as you keep going. Another key point is, pay yourself first. That means before paying bills or spending money, set aside money for investing and savings. Most people do the opposite. They spend first and save whatever's left. But the rich make sure their money goes to work for them first. They treat investing like a bill that must be paid every month. That's how they build wealth, consistently and automatically. One more lesson from the book that hits hard is about taxes and corporations. Rich Dad explained that the rich use the system to their advantage. Employees earn, get taxed, and then spend what's left. The rich earn, spend through their business, and then get taxed on what's left. That's the power of understanding how the system works. Kiyosaki isn't saying to cheat or avoid taxes, he's saying learn the rules of the game so you can play it smart. Let's talk about what this means for you right now. If you want to get rich in 2025 and beyond, you need to think like Rich Dad, not Poor Dad. Don't depend on one source of income. Don't rely only on your job. Focus on financial education. Learn how to create assets that generate cash flow. That could mean investing in stocks, real estate, online businesses, or even digital products. Start small, but start now. The mindset shift is the real secret. Poor Dad says, I can't afford it. Rich Dad says, how can I afford it? Poor Dad says, I need a secure job. Rich Dad says, I need financial freedom. Poor Dad says, play it safe. Rich Dad says, learn how to manage risk. Which one are you going to be? Let's be real, the economy keeps changing. Automation, inflation, and digital trends are reshaping the job market. Having one job is no longer safe, having multiple income streams is. If you understand money, you'll never fear losing your job because you'll know how to create opportunities. Now, let's quickly summarize the core message of Rich Dad Poor Dad. You don't need to be born rich, you just need to learn how to think rich. Money isn't evil, ignorance is. The poor and middle class work for money. The rich make money work for them. You don't need to be a genius, you just need to start. So how do you start? Step 1. Read financial books and take online courses on investing and money management. Step 2. Start tracking your expenses and understanding your cash flow. Step 3. Begin building assets, no matter how small. Maybe it's buying your first stock, starting a side hustle, or learning real estate basics. Step 4. Keep learning and growing. Remember, you don't get rich overnight. Wealth is built slowly through smart decisions, consistent learning, and patience. But if you follow the mindset and principles from Rich Dad Poor Dad, you'll be far ahead of 90% of people still stuck in the rat race. The goal isn't just to have money, it's to have freedom. Freedom to choose how you spend your time, where you work, and what kind of life you want to live. So, start today. Build your financial education. Focus on assets. Take smart risks. Let money work for you, not the other way around. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button, subscribe to Stock Predictor, and turn on the notification bell for more videos on wealth, money, and financial freedom. Drop a comment below. Are you Team Rich Dad or Team Poor Dad? What lesson from the book hit you the hardest? Thanks for watching, and remember, your mindset creates your reality. Learn how money works, apply it smartly, and you'll be on your way to financial independence. I'll see you in the next video. Stay focused, stay hungry, and keep learning how to make money work for you.